can give. It's time for Big D Energy, live on Woodward Sports. Join four-time Stanley Cup champion and legendary badass Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neil Rule, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., as they give their takes on all things Detroit sports. The number one midday show in Detroit is on. Welcome to Big D Energy.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy.
Big D, sit back, buckle up.
Right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neil Rule. That guy's Darren McCarty. Championship athlete, won 4 Stanley Cups. KG is in the house. Elite at his craft. He is here. Young Justin, working to be elite in this craft. He is here. Spencer Raxter, fresh off the interview with John Daly yesterday on Woodward Heavyweights. Hello.
Always cooking.
Always cooking.
Very elite.
Subscribe to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel and get in the chat and get your thoughts out there. Usually we like to start this. We'll talk about the weather, people taking too long in the U-scan, whatever. Not today.
It's over.
Not today. Here's the deal, D-Mac. Last night, the Tigers game. And Spenny, you have it. They bring him out there. The Chicago Cubs crowd gives that man a standing ovation. He looks like Lou Gehrig announcing his retirement out there on the field. And then proceeds to go 0 for 4, 4 strikeouts, swinging at pitches in the other batter's box all the time. And we've talked about him a lot here. Led by me, we have. And we've talked about the impact on us, the fans, everything like that. D-Mac, it's different now. He cannot be here anymore. He cannot be here next opening day. He can't be. And here's the reason why. You got guys out there. You got Tarek Skubal, who's a Triple Crown winning pitcher, going to win the Cy Young. Riley Green is an all-star. Spencer Torkelson hit 30 home runs plus last year. Has gone into the depths of hell and is fighting his way back. And had a 4-hit night last night. 4-hit night. They score 1 run. Javi's in every critical moment in the game. He strikes out every single time. D-Mac, we're past this now. Okay? He cannot be here anymore. He can't be here anymore. How are you going to look Spencer Torkelson and Riley Green and Tarek Skubal and Kerry Carpenter and all these guys that are grinding? Still grinding, and you trot the worst everyday player in baseball out there, and it is spread. It's more than Javi watch, and it's more than the ha-ha, he-he. It's more than that. D-Mac, he has a negative impact on this team. He handcuffs A.J. Hinch, and I can't take it anymore. I can't. This isn't Javi watch, guys. It's not that. These guys are battling. Riley Green's an all-star. Tarek Skubal's a soon-to-be Cy Young winner. And Javi Baez is out there doing that. You cannot have it anymore. He can't be here anymore. And why? What's the reason? Is it the money? No, I'm not buying that anymore. I'm not buying it anymore. Get him out of here, Spenny. Get him out now. At least by opening day next year, he cannot be here. You cannot do this to the rest of this team. And they're being pros. They are. They're being A.J. Hinch. And what the tipping point was even before last night. It was listening to A.J. Hinch on the pregame show on the radio when I was driving around town. And he said, yeah, we're going to kind of limit Javi's at-bats. We're not going to banish him or anything like that. I heard it in his voice. Mm-hmm. He has to do it. Totally. A.J. Hinch is a pro. He's a World Series winning manager. Riley Green's an all-star. Skubal's a soon-to-be Cy Young. You can't do that to these guys, D-Mac. You can't do it anymore. You can't have the worst everyday player in baseball out there when these young guys are out here trying to find their way. And look, you're going to have nights when you have kids out there. I know as a team that struck out, 12, 13 times, whatever it was, you're going to have nights like that. That happens with the kids. We think we got something here, D-Mac. And I'm not saying he's a bad guy, and I'm not coming at him personally. It can't be like this anymore. Professionally, you can't continue to have this guy out here submarining everything you're trying to do. It's past money. It's past all of that, D-Mac. Enough. If he's here next opening day, that is an insult. Not to me, because I'm here. I'm always going to be here every single night. I'm going to listen on the radio. I'm going to pay the money and watch on TV. You don't owe me anything. Remember, I'm not saying me, and I'm not saying us. You don't owe me anything. I'm always going to be here for better or for worse. But for those guys in that locker room, and in particular Spencer Torkelson, who's trying to save his career and has a 4-hit night, and in every big moment that he set up, here comes Javi Baez swinging at a pitch in the on-deck circle. Like, we can't have it anymore. You owe these guys better. The guys in that locker room, the guys who are accomplished in this game, you owe it to them. And D-Mac, this isn't, for me, look, it's not a meltdown. It's not, I'm worked up about it, yeah, because I'm worked up about those guys in that locker room. And I don't know what the reason is, but we know what the reason is. So whoever needs to hear this, who's in control of that, please hear this. You owe this to those guys in the locker room. You owe it to them. You cannot do this anymore for money. We've all bought shit we didn't like. We've all had buyer's remorse. You gotta go fix it.
Yeah.
For those guys.
I think the imperativeness of what you're saying is we've realized a long time ago, and I'm going to use the analogy of there's a disease there. Mm-hmm. But until now, is he a contagious disease? And does it affect? He's supposed to be your leader in the locker room. And you bring up different things and about Spencer Torkelson and the young guys. Look at what the movement is. It's to give these young guys a chance. And if this is their leader and showing you the way to do it, I'm sorry. You nailed it. I don't think anything's going to be done the rest of this year. I think that what we've seen is there's a making of a baseball team here, right? And there's a sore thumb sitting right in the middle. Now, before, with all these younger guys and all-star like Riley Green, who's young, Terry Skubal, Cy Young, Torkelson trying to get his game back, the guys
trying to save his career, and this man's up there doing that.
I do not believe that anything will be done, even though what a great picture or moment that he got, right? Which would be the perfect way. Here, Javi, here's your moment. Now we're done.
Right.
It's going to be done until next year. The imperative thing is in the off season, and that he's not part of moving forward. And if it is just about the dollar to buy him out or get rid of him or do whatever you need,
then fix it.
Yeah. I agree. You're not. It's Kenny. I said before the show. Neil ain't on the smack. Dude.
No,
This is the most sobering it's been, and the big reason is because now I think Javi Baez will affect the rest of the guys in that locker room.
Absolutely.
Not maybe consciously because they're going out, but time after time after time, it's got to wear on you. And so something needs to be done. I don't expect it to be done before the end of the season, but we'll be interested in the offseason because it is blatant. And it's also blatant that you got the makings of some youth that excited for, because if this team sucked and this was 6 years ago, who cares?
Right.
He's just another one of those guys. No, now he's an outlier, and it's affecting the rest of the team.
And it's affecting it in performance. I'll keep it between the lines. I've had people from organizations that told me, like, Neil, hey, you get worked up, but you keep it between the lines. You cannot put the worst everyday player in baseball out there with this lineup now. He cannot be here opening day next year. He can't. Right, whatever you got to do, you got to raise the price of hot and ready's $1, whatever. You got to raise ticket prices. I'll take a 20-game package right now. I'll give you my credit card number now. Whatever it takes.
I'll buy some pizza kits.
Right.
They're taking base.
Yeah.
Spendy will do it right now.
Oh, my God.
Whatever it takes, I'm begging you. Don't do this to those guys in the locker room anymore.
You're fired!
Don't do this. And look, it's funny and everything, but KG, for real.
No, I hear
It's
you.
not that. It's A.J. Hinch. It's Tarek Skubal.
Yes, I hear
It's
you.
Riley Green, an all-star. And look, those guys are kids, man.
Yeah.
I was talking with D-Mac, and I like to run this stuff by D-Mac because it's real-world application. I'm in locker rooms to a degree, but I'm not in locker rooms pregame, and I'm not in locker rooms postgame. That man was. And I had to run this by him and say, look, am I full of shit here, or like, what is it? Because they're kids, so you're not going to hear them go to the media. A.J. Hinch is too polished, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. It's just you can't continue to do this to them. And I asked you, D-Mac, am I warm here? Am I on the right track? And I wanted to ask you.
And you're warm because of the youth. And because of the youth, you mentioned it earlier, you're willing to take your knocks and you're willing to, the youth are going to have 12 strikeouts, but not with the guy that's supposed to be your leader. Your leader is supposed to be, what the Kerry Carpenters do.
Yeah. And the highest paid person on your team.
This isn't college. It's not college sports. The leader has to perform. It's professional baseball. The leader has to perform. He cannot be the worst everyday player in baseball. He can't be a leader. D-Mac, tell me I'm wrong.
No,
you cannot be a leader in pro sports if you can't play.
What is the youth? And what are the younger guys that are coming in? What do they look to? It's just which way do you want to be led? And you're going to be led more astray. Like there's a difference and production for what he used. Like put him on the bench. Play the rest of the guys. Keep them around. Because obviously they're not getting rid of him.
Right.
But just take them out of the lineup and go through it because you put him in the lineup, it's just automatic. It's right, and he gets hot for here and there, and we joke about how Mago's back or whatever. But what he can do, and it's not. It's the psyche, and to me, it's because you're going with the youth movement. If you weren't going with the youth movement, and you were going with a bunch of guys that weren't going to be here in the future and whatever, then he fits in with that. But that's not what we've got. We like some of this youth. You look at everybody's cheering for Spencer Torkelson to get back on track, just sort of like Parker Meadows did when he was down there. We got to, that's the frustrating thing, Neil, because you watch and you're dialed in, and we got a baseball team, the makings of a baseball team, except for that one spot. The big thing in the locker room, right? And I mentioned you. So the Javi Baez to the Nate Sudfeld, right? Where the value in the locker room, Javi Baez can't have enough value in the locker room to what he does on the field because he's your leader. Nate Sudfeld isn't your leader. He is a accessory piece that doesn't cost you much, that helps your quarterback out.
You nailed it, D-Mac, when you said Nate Sudfeld is more valuable than Javi Baez.
Absolutely.
100,000,000%.
He's more valuable.
And we see that and we hear that and you wonder why he's still the number 2 and what he does in helping the team and Jared Goff get prepared. That's what you need at the minimum out of Javi Baez, right? But then you got to watch him be unproductive.
It is. It's not Stephen David. Javi can't be in the lineup today. You got to get Sweeney in there. And look, I don't know what the answer is to that. Spenny, can you please put that picture up again, please? It was a culmination. And you remember Sunday night, I was into it, man.
Yeah, you were.
Boo them kids and the Canadian Little Leaguers rooting for the Yankees. But the pregame graphics of the Little League game had Aaron Judge and Javi Baez. Mm-hmm. Look at this picture. You would think he's Lou Gehrig. Today, I consider myself the luckiest man.
Yeah.
That's it. Put him down.
That's enough.
That's enough. That's enough. And I don't know what it was about that picture that made this come out of me emotionally.
That should be the last page of the book. That
should be
the back cover.
It should.
Close the book on Javi Baez with that picture right there. Now he's done.
Thank you for your time as a Tiger, which wasn't shit.
That's the picture you put out, because I know we got to put social media appreciation posts when guys who stink leave town. So when you do it for Harvey, that can be the picture that you use. Yeah. I don't care. He can't be here anymore. One person anywhere, be it in Major League Baseball, a fan watching Woodward, a Tigers fan, anywhere. One person anywhere, tell me how I'm wrong.
No.
And here's the deal, too. Aaron to the Stone. I just pray Chris is watching so he can hear Neil's impassioned plea for our Tigers, because something's got to change. And it starts with Almago being gone today. And Aaron, look, they want to ride it out through the season. Opening day next year, he cannot be here. I hate what he represents. I don't hate him personally. It's not personal. Mm-hmm. I hate the OPS. I do hate that.
Yeah.
And that's fair, because it's one of the worst in baseball.
The contract.
I hate the contract because it's one of the worst in Detroit sports history. Mm-hmm. Jordan Zimmerman looks at his contract and goes, man, that's a bad contract.
Absolutely.
He cannot be here.
I hear you.
This isn't, guys, like, look, I think you guys know me well enough at this point where I'm not just up here, how am I going to get people riled? I live this every day of my life. I told you that the thing that set me off was listening to A.J. Hinch's radio interview yesterday, which I'm a dork. I try not to miss it because I want to hear him talk every day.
I'm not mad at it. But
that's how important it is to me.
And Neil, I've told you all along that you are not wrong. I've been saying it all year. It appears that he was handcuffed from the jump. This is a guy that he benched last year.
Then you weren't serious about winning at any point.
Exactly.
And all this stuff, spending all those opening day beers you pounded, and all the all the pictures that we took.
That shit means something to me.
It means something to this man. You think he's just doing it to do it?
I hear you.
No.
But I did want to ask you this. Does it at least give you a little bit of hope that they are limiting his at-bats at this point? Because that's the beginning of the end in baseball. Once they start limiting the at-bats, they start sending you on the bench. That's the beginning of the end.
KG, I'll always go back to this and to the point there where Almagro needs to be gone today. If he's gone in the offseason, why didn't you just do it today?
I understand.
Why didn't you just do it in May when you still had a chance?
I get you, but we're in August now.
He lost that game yesterday.
I get you.
He lost that game yesterday.
But the team would benefit if they did it in the offseason. I mean, this year is lost. There's nothing we can do about this.
But what would they benefit then that they wouldn't benefit now that they wouldn't have benefited from in May?
I understand you.
And then that's my question to the organization. Why?
Well, we know that.
Why?
We know that.
That's little Chris.
See it all. I almost got you.
Almost.
I almost got you.
Chris knocking over them garbage cans.
Let's go here and D-Mac here. And I know we're late for the break, but guys, this was serious this morning. It was. It's not ha ha he slapdick stuff. It's not.
Yeah.
This is serious. Let's go Red Wings Sparty. Can't preach. Please listen to this one, D-Mac. Can't preach commanding the strike zone and expect the kids to follow when Almagro is constantly getting a pass and doing the exact opposite. I go to you, Darren McCarty, 4-time champion in your sport.
Said that?
That was Let's Go Red Wings Sparty.
Thank you. Let's go Red Wings Party. On the same page as always. That's exactly what it is, right? Discipline, what's allowed, what's not. And it's not consciously. It's subconsciously. And to go back to it was easy in our locker room with all the Hall of Famers, and when your best players, your Steve Eismans, your Igor Larionovs, your Nick Lidstroms, were your hardest working guys. You just follow them around. Same thing is what they do on the ice. If I see Steve Eisman blocking a shot and back checking, I got to do it 3 times as hard. That's what the
and
commitment.
you're pissed about it because now I got to go block 3 shots.
You even mentioned that Kenny mentioned it too. 100 million % AJ Hinch is handcuffed on what he
been
wants to do with
handcuffed
bias,
the whole time.
I bet he'd shoot him out of a cannon.
Absolutely.
He tries to bench him and he tries to take him out and he tries whatever. The discipline, you even mentioned, how long's he been here and you got AJ Hinch still talking about, you got to commit. Like that outside pitch, we all know.
Yeah, it's a song and dance.
We
at this
all know
point.
it's the same thing, but to the point where Let's Go Red, that's exactly what it is that will seep down to the undisciplined that you don't want.
And that's why if you don't
get better when your guys that's supposed to be your leader and your alpha and you look to and he can't even be disciplined to even show that he's trying.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, what if we're sitting here and Javi's standing like Ernie Harwell say, like a house to the side of the road, and they throw those pitches and he takes them for strike 3. I'm not going to be as mad because they don't throw them in the strike zone for strike 3. They're always out there.
Yes, sir.
So I'm sending you up like Roger Doherty either to get hit by the pitch or take a walk.
The
bad.
moral of the story is this. He cannot be here next opening day, and it's not for us. It's not for the fans. It's not for the people at Woodward. None of that. It's for the guys in that locker room. Tell me how I'm wrong. Tell me how I'm wrong. And look, most of them are kids in there. They don't have that kind of juice yet where they can go knock on the owner's door and say, get this guy out of here. Mm-hmm. And maybe they like him. As a man, maybe they like him. And maybe I would too. But the bottom line is this. The worst everyday player in baseball. You lose games you shouldn't because he's out there every day. All right. I had to get that out. Spenny, I'm sorry.
Hey, Neil,
I had to get that off my chest.
Skydog gets off his whatever the fuck he's on. Do we not agree who's fully responsible is Chris Ilitch for this?
We know.
He's solely responsible for this.
So
Exactly.
yes, this up your ass, you fucking idiot.
Solely responsible, because the decision could, by noon, he could be
Fucking
gone.
donkeys.
He could.
You're
By
all
noon.
like a whole bunch of donkeys.
You cannot do this to the rest of that locker room anymore. It's past that. All right, tell him about Dispo.
Yeah, you know what?
Christ's sake,
Be a
please, do
great-
something.
Be a great way, Neil. We can go over there. We get you a free one, $10 free at Dispo Dispensary.
He need
Anytime
it.
you spend more than $25, all you have to do is hit that QR code, take it into any one of the Dispo Dispensaries. What are there, like a dozen of them, Spenny?
Yeah.
They're all around. So visit Dispo Dispensary today or shop Dispo.com. Dispo Dispensary, your local cannabis plug.
The Great American Chevy Week is back and bigger than ever at Feldman Chevrolet. Choose from the largest inventory of award-winning Chevys, all priced to move for the biggest week of the year. Get this 2024 Silverado for only $213 a month, or this 2024 Equinox for as low as $249 a month. Feldman takes the Great American Chevy Week to another level. Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
The Ally Challenge presented by McLaren is back August 22nd through 25th at Warwick Hills and Grand Blanc. Be there for PGA Tour Champions Golf, Family Night, concerts, and more. Tickets start at just $15. Get yours at allychallenge.com today.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody!
What's up, everybody? Neil Rule for shop.woodwardsports.com, the very best in Detroit sports wearables. You will not find any Javi City Connect jerseys at shop.woodwardsports.com, so that makes it elite Detroit sports wearables. So welcome to Detroit shirt. Boot him, kids.
Yes.
Right around the time we stop booing Javi, you can boot him, kids. We can just, because you know, that's how we are here. Shop.woodwardsports.com.
Boot 'em Javis.
Might actually get some crossover. The end of the season and the football season.
Yeah.
Boom, both.
Absolutely. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Jump into there. Neil Rule, Darren McCarty, KG, Young Justin, Spencer Raxter. Alan Lee. I've never seen Neil like this. And Alan, I've said this before, man. I think it's a positive for me. I think it's a negative for me in this business. I don't sell you hope and fear. And I don't mitigate ping pong back and forth between the two. To people that do it, good. You know, good for you. If it works for you, it works for you. Whatever. Alan, I just tell you what I feel. Every single day I sit down here, I tell you what I feel. I don't watch movies. I don't watch TV shows. I watch sports. It's what I do. I watch the Tigers in the summer. I love it because it means the weather's warm for the most part, except for the last 2 nights here. What the hell is going on?
Yeah, I don't know.
But anyway, I digress. And D-Mac, the problem for me in this was very, very simple. After the reality of the season being over, as far as playoffs are concerned,
You came to grips.
I came to grips with that, and I allowed myself to lock in Sunday. Oh, Yankees at the Little League Stadium, Sunday night baseball. So I knew D-Mac was fired up.
man.
He's a 90-year-old dude. Like, he loves Sunday night baseball. But I got to jump back into it. And I was fired up for the game. And it was appointment viewing for me. And then Sunday during the day, I got to look at the graphics on social media, and it's Aaron Judge and Javi. And I start to go right back to that place. And then yesterday, when he gets a standing O, and he does the Lou Gehrig salute to the crowd, and then he's 0 for 4 swinging at balls in the other batter's box to lose the game with 4 strikeouts, I got right back to that place. But it was different this time because it's not about me, and it's not about us, and it's not about the fans. It is about those guys in that locker room. So, again, for me, Tony D, real passion from it was. Like, that's how you can't fake that, guys. Like, this team is too big a part of my life and too big a part of my summer to just allow it to go down like this. And especially, D-Mac, when you could be close.
Well, now it's getting to the fact of, is this going to hold them back? Can this hold them back from getting back? Like, they showed us last week when they brought up young guys and continued. We brought up Torque again, is that they are going with the youth. Yeah. And if the guys are ready, they're going to get an opportunity. So they've shown that. So you can't get in the way. Let's go Red Wings party before the break brought up the best point. Because if you have the most undisciplined hitter and there's no repercussion, right? What does that let you know what is allowed and what is not allowed? So I believe, and I'm going to keep the faith, right? Because we talked about this, and I talked you out of right now, right? Because you're realistic, it's not going to happen right now. But it should happen in the off season. And I'd even say, forget opening day, shouldn't even be at camp.
Yeah.
Right.
In the winter, he needs to go.
But I'm going to let it go until then because what it is. But what you brought up when you brought this to all of our attention last night as we're seeing, and it just got me thinking, no wonder Chicago cheered him so much. Not only for what he did, but they knew what was coming.
And they got rid of him just in time.
Exactly.
No, but thanks for... And,
it was
and
a
that's
cynical
just,
cheer.
It's unfortunate, but it's what it does moving forward. And I don't think anything that he's done up until this point, or even for the rest of this year, because we had already shot ourselves in the foot. Look at how well you're playing lately, and you still can't make any hay on the playoff race. But best believe it, you better show a commitment to the beginning of the year, because do you not think if these guys sort of start figuring it out, guys get their at-bats and go through the rough times as the youth now, coming into training camp next year, you can't say that you don't expect them to have the battle for the wild card.
And I'll make a deal with everybody for the powers that be. I'll make a deal with you. Like, we were critical of the offseason to some degree because I thought you were close, and it turns out you were.
Yeah.
You may have been one bat away. I'll make a deal with you. If we can 86 this guy, I won't even say a word about free agency.
Okay.
I'll take that. I'll take it as the addition was subtraction.
Yeah.
Because the analytics say subtraction will be an addition. I'll take it. I just want him out. I just want him out. All right, can we do the football now?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Tell us about the pregame show.
Let's talk about the pregame show, by the way, because Woodward Sports is doing football better than any.
That picture.
It's the first time I've seen this graph.
Me too. Me too.
We've got you covered on football.
What? They caught you and Sean slipping, bro. Yo, why y'all like it?
No, all right. Pictures aside, maybe not the best
photos.
Yeah. Maybe not the best graphics per se, but it will be the best football coverage. That I can say. Woodward and Maine.
Goddamn, Neil's got his own face. What the fuck? Look here.
That's Sean telling me, hey, I heard they're gonna cut Javi. That's what that is right there. Woodward and Maine on your game day in Detroit. We got you waking up with Woodward and Maine, your source for all the insider info. And defending the NFC North title, Detroit Lions, with insight from Detroit sports media legend Terry Foster, and of course our guy Matt Broder. Get ready for Detroit game day every Sunday, 8 to 9 a.m. on Woodward and Maine, and we'll chase it every game day. Myself and Sean Belesian will bring you the best Lions pregame show Sunday. Look, though, I can tell you what's like on here. 10 to noon, Sunday mornings. This will be the very best Lions show in Detroit.
Damn right.
Period. Doesn't matter what network you're talking about, what podcast you're talking about, none of it. Myself, Sean Belesian, we are going to get it in. It's going to be electric.
Live on remote, too, for home games, right?
Absolutely. Wherever it's going down, Sean Belesian and I will be there. I'll get off the plane at the airport and go right to the show. And we're going to be doing it up better than anybody. We have the most elite Lions coverage in Detroit. Don't believe me, check the numbers. Lions Game Day Sundays.
Presented by Sabbath Coffee.
Presented by Sabbath Coffee.
Shout
Roasters. Shout out Sabbath Coffee,
Where
by
is
the
it?
way.
Shout out.
We'll be
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full-line merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed-out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Premier Pet Supply is hands down Michigan's best pet store. Same prices and all the conveniences. The online and big box retailers with one major difference. They are family and locally owned and operated for over 30 years. 60 brands of food and nutrition experts to help you. Same day, local curbside home delivery. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best. www.premierpetsupply.com.
All right, we're off and running. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Thanks for sticking with me through the hobby stuff. I felt like it needed to be said, but we do have to get to the football. As you might expect, lots of reaction from the Lions game day graphic. Neil Rule, Darren McCarty. Of course, we have KG, Young Justin, Spencer Raxter in the building as well. Lots of reaction, D-Mac. Kiazi. Neil looks like the cover of a porn film from the early 90s.
Well, I don't know if you know this or not, but I think Lentz took that off of Neil's OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Profile
Hey,
page.
Damn.
You got to pay.
I thought you was just selling the foot content.
No, I said to Neil before they were taking pictures, and I said, what would you do if they bought out Javi Baez's contract? And he went,
Freddie Felt. Neil, that's your face when the bourbon hits during Week 0 football. I can't wait for 11:59 p.m. Saturday night.
Yeah, man.
I can't wait.
Almost here.
I'll have called the Detroit City match, by the way, Saturday. Detroit 50. Lock in, 7 p.m. I'm going to get home.
I'll be watching New Mexico. I'm kidding.
Well, that'll be over, right? That'll lead you right into Detroit City soccer.
Perfect.
And then
Even
we
better.
pivot, and we go to the Team One Sports app to watch Hawaii football.
What app is it on?
Team One Sports.
Do I have to pay for that?
No, it's free.
Hey, shout out Hawaii.
Shout out Hawaii. There you go. But
At least
yeah.
they're not NFL leaving their disgusting fingerprints in my school email.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Jesus, if you don't know what channel or where to watch, you're looking for a game, usually text Neil. He usually knows what app or whatever game.
Crazy Clown. Neil has Javi derangement syndrome. No, that wasn't about me. That wasn't about me.
No, in the past, it's always been about you.
Right. This
This
time,
one was
Yeah,
not about
no.
Right, Kenny? That's why we always say, come on, crackhead.
I knew it was real when you were actually on his side this time. I'm like, oh, yeah, this is different.
Well,
I
it
can
is
tell this
because
different.
it's not about just Javi.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
ineptitude of Javi. And if he just, sat there by himself and imploded and didn't affect anybody else. And it's because of the youth around him, because the Tigers have made
Yeah, you can
this
see something.
decision to sort of whatever, I don't know, fast track, but give guys opportunities. So now that this is why it becomes a problem.
no doubt.
A big problem.
Before we do get into the Lion stuff, by the way, let's see here. Hoof-hearted. We did have some breaking news in the Get Right world yesterday. I don't know if you guys caught this. Delaware State missed their flight to Hawaii.
Really?
I did see that.
Really?
They did.
Oh, no.
They had to take a bus from Delaware to, I believe it was JFK in New York. So that's a couple-hour bus
Vegas
ride.
playing, bro. Vegas playing.
I believe, D-Mac, that the word got out amongst the sports book.
Yep. They playing.
Because I do notice JB Smoove said Hawaii's favorite is down to 38.5 points. I gave it to you yesterday at 39. We locked in. Because remember you asked, do you want to do it now? And I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, it got off 38. I'll take it now. The word was out, D-Mac. The sports books are reacting.
Shiesty bastard.
Reacting.
Well, I mean, everybody goes to their source for information. Vegas might come here.
Now, however, because I got some tweets asking about this, we're on them now more than ever.
Oh,
Is it
doubling down.
doubling down?
No, we got our number. We're good.
Okay. We're not that.
We're over here cool because we're getting 39.
Yeah.
I do think the late money's going to go on them. It'll probably be about 38 around kickoff, but we got 39, so we got value. But anyway,
No, they took a bus to the airport and flew to Hawaii.
Yes.
Just to be straight.
But they had
the
some
bus
bus-
ride to Hawaii, they might lose.
they
by
had
more.
some bus issues. I wonder, I assume are they flying commercial? They must be if they're flying from New York.
Of course.
They're flying commercial. I just wonder how that commercial flight leaves, missing, I don't know, 100 people on it. Because if they're flying commercial, because we're doing that. We're playing in the Diamond Head thing for Oakland over Christmas. We're flying commercial.
Yeah.
We got probably 30 plus of us that are rolling out. How does that plane leave without 100 people on it?
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's pretty wild.
Any pilots out there? Any?
Yeah. But anyway,
Flight
71
services?
Mad Cat. Neil, are you on the call for DCFC tonight in Tampa? No, because I'm here. No, my wife.
My wife.
Yeah, my wife has a
It's
non.
my wife.
No,
My wife.
here's the deal. My wife has like a non-serious medical thing, and she doesn't do well with the medical community.
Oh, yeah.
So she's like, I'm asking. So
Right.
here we are. DNC ENT, we have an update. It says it's 40.5 now.
Wait, what? They went up.
I haven't looked. You know what, DNC
I would
ENT?
think it would go up after the news of the missing their bus and their
Yeah.
plane and whatever.
But
Don't they
the
want
smart
more
people
points?
know. Like,
Wouldn't the
keep
book
that.
say
Come on.
that gives Hawaii more of an advantage?
Then you know what? Yeah. I'll go in for a second unit.
Double it
Yeah.
down!
I'll go in for a second unit.
I have 39.
DNC, according to DNC ENT, who's our...
So Neil says if you can get it above 39.5 or above
if you can
40.
get it 40 plus,
Yes.
No,
lock
I'm
and load
about
a
to
second
do that.
unit.
Yeah, JP.
FanDuel has Delaware
real.
plus 40.5 right now. JP 17.
get on
Informed.
FanDuel and see
JP
what's
17. All right. 40.5. This is a special, Spenny.
Yeah.
We haven't done this before. This is a 2-unit special.
We are doubling down.
We are doubling down on it. So we're in at 39 and we're in at 40.5.
2 for 1 on the late nighter. Oh my God! What a way to start the bet week 0. The betting system, Kenny. Would you expect anything else from our fearless leader?
Of course not.
And
Of
you
course
wonder
not.
why he wears the crown. Lead us right into the
to the money.
battle.
I zig when others zag. And Saturday night, we're partying, everybody.
Hey, just make sure your ride home is safe, man.
I'll be sitting right outside the
He'll
back
be
door of
on
my
the
house.
deck.
I'm just saying Vegas, man. They might not
yeah.
take too kindly to you, just out here giving
I
give
should have
right.
got the old Cadillac with the iron
Yeah,
plate
right.
under.
Yeah, right. I'm just worried about you. That's all.
Probably a bad time for a personalized license plate on the
Yeah,
car.
I
I'm
would
guessing.
say
You know what?
You might want to
Hey,
lay
Flannel,
low for
let's
a while.
switch cars for the drive home.
You might want to lay low for a while,
All right.
buddy.
So, guys, we're in there. All right. Let's go Red Wings party. I've heard enough. I just put my house on it.
Oh shit.
We ride.
We ride.
Delaware State.
Oh my God.
The Blue Hens, right?
Yeah.
We're in. Here on Mark M. Your audience may need a second job.
Yep, 40
or
and a
they might
half.
be able to quit their first one. You never think about it that way. All right, Lion stuff. Spenny, we have the Dan Campbell talking about the quarterback deal, Leo, right? Because I'm stunned what a story. And we talked about this yesterday before some of the other networks talked about it in town, which was weird. It's stunning how much of a story this is. But we did get the audio, D-Mac. Did you hear it yet?
No.
You haven't heard it yet? Okay,
No.
so I want you to listen to it.
Yes.
Because I want to go with a fine-tooth comb and go through all this. All right, here is Dan Campbell talking about how Nate Sudfeld has the upper hand at quarterback 2.
With the twos this week and maybe even start Saturday?
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a couple of days, but it was good to see him go out there and make some plays. The unfortunate thing was that he missed last week. He missed a number of days because of the concussion that he had, and so that hurts when it hurts, but then it hurts for development a little bit because he doesn't get all those reps. Man, those were critical reps that he missed last week, which is not his fault. That's just the way it played out, and so he only got, a handful of reps before we go in and play in the game. And I mentioned this the other day. That's why we didn't start him. We were going to start him. And I didn't think that was fair to him and really those other guys, that second group that was going to start the game out. So, but there was some real good things in that game, and there were some real bad things, which doesn't surprise me with where he's at. So, certainly we want to get him a real good look. We'd love to give him a lot of reps this week. I think the idea would be, you'd love to start him this week. I'd like to start him, and then it's just a matter of how much does he play. Is it a couple of series and Nate goes in and then he's back, or is it a quarter, or is it a half, but he's going to get a really good look. He's going to get a lot of reps this week because he needs them.
Dan, kind of related to that, there have been more quarterbacks that have had to start.
All right, that was Dan Campbell talking about the QB2 situation. And D-Mac, look, it's everybody's favorite topic. It always has been. It always will be. Did you detect full honesty there from Dan Campbell?
Yeah, I detected the fact of why he wasn't. The game, he told you that the preparation, the game plan was to have him take reps and start the game. But because, I sort of chuckled because concussions, they hurt, but they also hurt because
Right.
You couldn't get the reps in. So it wasn't fair to everybody else. Again, thinking about the rest of the team. So I guess that's why it's a good reason that there's one left. But but you see how he's throwing around, I don't know if I'm going to start him, put him in, maybe put him back in, do whatever. So the fact is that there's a competition there and there's a conversation, and it comes back to the concussion issues is why they didn't put the press on Hendon Hooker because he wasn't prepared. Like, up to Dan Campbell's sufficiency, right, to go out there. What did he say? He said some good things and he said some awful things. Like, I'd like to hear that. Yeah, he was talking about the handoffs and different things like that. Dan, all I ever want to know is the why. I don't need to know the right or the wrong. Just tell me the why. He explained his why. And I thought it was genuine. So let's wait and see what happens this last preseason game, and hopefully they both play and they both play well, but he'll come out after that. But I didn't sense he wasn't dodging anything. He just told you that, hey, you got a concussion, and he didn't take enough reps, and I didn't think he was prepared enough because I didn't want to do it to the rest of the second team starters.
Fair. Let's do this, D-Mac. Tell them about Lady Jane's, and we'll get a little more into this, and we'll roll it into the next topic as well. Tell them about Lady Jane's.
Absolutely, Lady Jane's haircuts for men. You can walk in, sit down, relax. One of the talented stylists make you look and feel great. Hot leather neck massage, whatever you want. Lady Jane's haircut for men. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
What about Ally?
The Ally Challenge, everybody. You guys know what it is, and it's going on right there down the road at Warwick Hills Golf and Country Club. This is the weekend. Spencer Rax from the Heavyweights interviewed John Daly. He's in town already, and it is a party down there. $2 birdie beers, all of that and more. Go to allychallenge.com. It's high-level golf, some of the very best to ever do it in the game of golf. They got concerts out there Friday night, Saturday night. Also, it's not just about the golf. If you like having a good time, Ally Challenge, that's where the party's at. Go to allychallenge.com.
Braylon out with your Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody! Woodward Sports. Make sure you listen to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz next, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network.
Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts, professional technicians who take the time to recommend secure and automated solutions specific to your needs. But Guardian, all they want you to do is call the number 1-800.
Stay out.
24/7 professional monitoring. Call anytime, day or night. Know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as it's needed, as long as you call the number 1-800.
Stay out.
Technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work. And people have been proven to care. Business, pleasure, Guardian don't care. Call them today. 1-800.
Stay out. Stay out of progressing my neck injury.
Stay out of Lakeland next February. You know who.
I second that.
All right.
Guardian Alarm, your local security experts, tell them Big D Energy. We sent you.
All right, back at it. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Darren McCarty, KG, Young Justin, Spencer Raxter as well. They had a great conversation with John Daly. Go to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel.
Great interview.
Check that out. Yeah. We'd let you know the Lions game day setup as well. Myself and Sean Belizean, the Lions pregame show brought to you by Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Swing by there and check them out. In Clawson, by the way, over there on East 14 Mile Road as well. All of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread. And it's good to see Nate Sudfeld in the Woodward Sports chat. I figured he'd be busy practicing, but
right.
I don't know, maybe not. It says in parentheses, third string quarterback, Nate Sudfeld. He says, Nate Sudfeld, Nate Sudfeld, Nate Sudfeld. So there is that. But D-Mac, it's one of those things, too, where we've talked about it. LNW said, to D-Mac's point, Kyle Shanahan talked about the fact that Sudfeld had a real effect on the QB room there, and it was one of the hardest cuts that he ever had to make. So, again, you turned me on to this long ago, and I was kind of obtuse to it. There is value to him being in the room. That's why he's not going anywhere, everybody. He's not. Have you? Okay, everyone said you need to. You, KG, you said you just have to accept it with the Javi thing and stuff like that. Are you prepared to accept it that Nate Sudfeld ain't going anywhere?
Absolutely. It's fine with me.
He's not leaving.
He's not.
Good.
And
don't,
that's fine.
but don't ever play.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Like no.
There you
I
go.
want. Like, didn't Orlovsky or Stafford had Orlovsky? Like, this is his guy. And does that not reiterate if it's coming from Kyle Shanahan? So it's not just his team, it's the consistency. What do we talk about that Dan Campbell had to develop? That locker room culture. So this is a huge part of it, like it or not. Do we all agree?
I agree.
Please never get on the field, ever, in a regular season or playoff game.
And
I'll be good with it.
I, honest to God, do not think. Yes, he may have named Sudfeld the number 2, but if we get into the season and there's shit on the line, I don't think he's trying to Nate Sudfeld out.
So Dan Campbell lied to you.
He might be fibbing a little. I wouldn't call it outright lie. It's just right now he's the number 2.
Is that coach? Maybe coach speak to
exactly
a little bit. But
we're going to continue to work on his development, and some things may change if golf goes down. Knock on wood.
But it shows you why they talk about carrying 3 quarterbacks.
Come on.
Because they're not going to get rid of Nate Sudfeld.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
You don't need to be an NFL coach to see that Nate Sudfeld cannot play a lick of football.
So would you say the number 2 job is on the line in the last preseason game and we should lock in?
Yes.
Well,
are you in, Spenny?
Yeah, I'm in.
I don't even know if it's on the line, but I guess if you want to put it
Dan
that way,
Campbell
sure.
said there's 5 or 6 positions still available. Still available.
But to D-Mac's point, if they're carrying 3 quarterbacks, then I'd have a hard time believing Nate Sudfeld is the official number 2. Like, he might just be saying that, but
okay. I always take it as Dan Campbell's not
and
a guy
could be
to
saying
not for the
that too
bullshit.
to motivate Hendon Hooker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like with
Did you
J-Mo.
ever think of that? Is that, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
you got to put in maybe more work or, I don't know. But the injuries, so he's got to play catch up.
Right. And he's the more experienced person. He knows the offense. I understand it, but I have a hard time believing
Can we all agree that no matter who it is, we never want to see him play?
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
So okay.
Well, not all of us here.
Well,
I don't want to see him play.
Unless
Look
it's
at me.
unless it's mop up
You're
time
right.
because we're waxing somebody so bad and they come in just for mop up time. That's the only time.
Not even.
We're leading
not
by
even.
4 tutties.
Not everybody. Not everybody here at Woodward.
don't know what you.
I know you're not
who are you referring to?
Not talking about anybody in the room, are you?
No, not anybody in the room.
Okay, cool.
But somebody like
you was giving me the
at
look.
the network.
Like who?
Does it start with an E and end with a Z?
You guys can figure it out.
If it's easy, then it doesn't matter anyway.
Okay. All right, fair.
I mean,
all right, fair. DNCENT, he's obviously not being honest. If you can look me in the eye and say Nate Sudfeld is this team's best option to back up Goff, I can't take you seriously. Just when have you known him to be on bullshit? That's
no, but
what
he
about
said is that like so. Okay, so did I not? Maybe I wasn't clarifying this.
Go ahead.
He hasn't done it. Hendon Hooker hasn't done enough work and prepared enough and shown me enough to be number 2. But it's sort of in waiting. I need him to show me more and do me more. The injuries prevented me from showcasing him last week and whatever like that.
Yeah, by week 9 that can change. I'm telling you.
I think he's just waiting, and he's not. I think it's a lot. Like he's not giving Hooker prematurely what he hasn't earned in his eyes. That's what he's been consistent on. And if you look at him saying Nate Sudfeld's the number 2 because of that, it's by default.
Yeah, there it is.
So let's figure out. So yes, Neil, to answer your question, you should. If you are going to lock in, we got to see. And I mentioned this at the beginning of the preseason. What I want to see is, do we have a serviceable backup, and can Hendon Hooker prove to be there at this level if needed for a quarter or a play or whatever that? Because I believe that's our best option, even with seeing everything else. But Dan Campbell needs to see more. And it sounded like being healthy.
Yeah.
So you can do the reps.
No, absolutely. Yeah, it is. It's...
All right.
It's funny to me though, man. Like, look at the charge in the chat. Look at the charge in this room. You guys feel the physiology change in the room we started talking about? I'll never understand it. I'll never understand it.
Well, I mean,
remember last year when Maz wanted to pay Teddy Bridgewater $8 million?
Yeah.
Those
sat
were
in that
fun
chair.
times. He sat in that chair.
He looked
and
you
said
straight
those
in the
words.
face and said yes.
Yeah.
What is it for real?
I mean,
what is it about the backup quarterback? What is it?
You don't want your season in the hands of Nate Sudfeld if
No. I'm just saying in general.
Oh.
You know you're cooked. Anything you get is a bonus.
That's true, but the Lions as an organization aren't just gonna fold because Goff goes down. Like, especially if they have shit on the line or they're in a playoff or a seeding race.
When you are a contender, when you are contending for a Super Bowl, it's important to be strong at all positions, and having a guy that could come in and keep the ship afloat if Goff has to miss a couple drives or a game or two is extremely important when you're fighting for the 1 seed, trying to get home field advantage to win a Super Bowl, i.e. the Kansas City Chiefs, i.e. the Philadelphia Eagles, i.e. teams where a quarterback had to come in and keep the team alive. That's what we're asking for. We're not asking for a savior. We're asking for a guy that can keep the ship afloat if Goff has to miss some time. That can be life or death on the season. That could be meaning sitting at home in the plush confines of Ford Field in the playoffs or going to Philadelphia.
Yep.
It's just like, and I admit this, unlike some other people at different networks in this town, but I was listening to another network, and they were talking about the backup quarterbacks, and they like physically went through the list of backup quarterbacks, and it was pretty incredible. Like the guys that, you know, as you say, want to try to figure out a way. And like Andy Dalton's the backup at Carolina, like he's still around. Jameis Winston's the backup with the Browns.
It's a good backup.
Yeah, premier backups.
Josh Dobbs is the 49ers backup. All the 49ers fortunes, all of it, like the window that is closing quickly. If Purdy gets hurt, it's Josh Dobbs.
Yeah.
Better than Nate Sudfeld.
Way better. By a mile.
Still cooked.
Not if you need him for one game. We
Not
saw
necessarily.
Josh Dobbs step in and win games in the NFL last year. If Purdy's gone for the season, then yes. But if Purdy is gone for 2 weeks and the 49ers are trying to get the number 1 seed, it is more imperative to have a Josh Dobbs than a Nate Sudfeld. Because Josh Dobbs can win you 2 games in the NFL. Nate Sudfeld can't.
No, but my point involves Hooker. like Hendon Hooker.
And Hendon Hooker can win you a
Yes.
game or two in the NFL. I am confident in that. Nate Sudfeld can't.
Especially with a first-team offense. Absolutely.
I agree with you.
Mac Jones is a backup. Kenny Pickett's a backup. Jarrett Stidham's a backup. Kyle Trask is a backup in Tampa, a playoff team that won a playoff game last year. Mitchell Trubisky for the Bills.
I hear you.
Whose window could be closed. And if it's not, that's where they're at. Tyson Bagent with the Bears.
But you can't just fold, though. Like,
Davis Mills with the Texans.
I hear you.
Davis Mills.
These are all guys- these
who
are all
is
guys
worse
who-
than Sudfeld? I don't care what anybody says.
Davis Mills has won games in the NFL.
Yeah.
Nate Sudfeld hasn't.
He's never won a game?
I don't think so, no.
No.
He's never won a game?
What game has he won?
I don't. Well,
Remind me.
Let me see.
I don't even think he's won a preseason game, let alone a regular season game.
I wonder
No,
about
Nate
that.
Sudfeld has never started a game in the NFL. He's only thrown 25 passes, and he's never won a game. No.
There you go.
292 yards in the preseason, though.
Stop it, dude.
No, because I'm just, again,
I hear
if any
you.
of these guys come in,
That's true.
it's over.
But you can't, as an organization, you can't just fold because your starter goes down. Like,
I get that, and
especially
they
a team
won't.
like the Lions that
but
are
you're not
a
going
Super
to win.
Bowl
But you're not going to win.
We
You're gonna
don't
win a Super
know
Bowl?
that. We don't know that.
The Eagles did?
Nick Foles, yes, thank you.
That was the exception to the rule.
Okay,
Because that was a
but-
guy that had a lot of success in the league at some time.
It's possible.
Andy
It can
Dalton's had
happen.
a lot of success in the league at some times. Like
He's
it's-
104.
It's important to have a viable backup when you're trying to win a Super Bowl.
Yes.
Like I said, if Goff goes down, God forbid he goes down for a while, you're fucked. But if he has to go down for a week or two, I am extremely confident that Hendon Hooker can step in and win games.
Right.
Chris, second overall pick, Trey Lance, backing up Dak Prescott. He could be the starter next year for them.
Trey was looking good in that preseason.
Trigger Trey. Nate Sudfeld, third string quarterback. You guys would prefer Jeff Driscoll?
Yeah. Over Nate Sudfeld?
That's tough.
I mean,
Thank you. That's tough.
I mean, they all tough, but you can't just fold.
I would say take it to the streets, but there's recency bias in it.
Okay.
If we put the question out there, people would say they prefer Jeff Driscoll, and it'd be like 80-20. When there's no way you could tell me that he's 60% better than Nate Sudfeld. No way. Jeff Driscoll.
I mean, Tim Boyle.
TB12. He's got to be in the league somewhere.
They're the same person.
Yes.
Tim Boyle and Nate Sudfeld are the same person.
TB12 might be better. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't saying much, but I'm just saying.
All right.
And yeah, I don't care. Like, keep Sudfeld on the roster as Goff's butler. Get him,
Yes.
get him his coffee.
Yes.
You know, make sure his helmet's not sweaty.
Right.
Make sure his laces are laced up for sure. But if you're looking at me in the eyes as a fan who expects a Super Bowl out of this team, and you're going to tell me if Goff rolls an ankle and has to go get taped up, and you need somebody to fill in for a drive, you're going to put in Nate Sudfeld over Hendon Hooker, I'm going to tell you you're wrong. That is the wrong decision.
I don't know, man. The handoff did something to me. When I saw him do the handoff,
It's
man.
the preseason.
The season starts in like 10 days.
But you always say don't take anything out of the preseason. I understand, yes, he needs to clean that up, but why are you taking so much stock in one bad snap?
Because Dan Campbell just told me he's a second string guy.
I understand
That's why.
that. But,
so obviously it's a big deal to him.
and it wasn't even like all his fault. It was a bad snap which led to a bad handoff. But I'm just saying, I'm not making excuses for the guy. He has to work on that.
You can't make excuses if you're not insured through Swiss Insurance.
That is facts.
That's when you could not make excuses.
Absolutely, because now more than ever, it is critical for you to have your insurance reviewed. Swiss Insurance will make sure your carrier is not slipping in extra fees. How do you do it? You call my buddy Mark today at Swiss Insurance, 313-530-1698, or go to SwissINS.com.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
The countdown to kickoff is here. Your Detroit Lions are ready for another season of grit. Woodward Woodward Sports is your #1 destination for all breaking news and Lions coverage. We are Detroit's #1 sports network. We are Woodward Sports. Enough Detroit sports. Make sure you listen to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz next, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network.
What's up, everybody? Join the best youth football league in Metro Detroit, the Boys and Girls Clubs of Southeastern Michigan's 3C Sports League. They offer youth ages 5 to 14. 6 exciting teams to choose from in Detroit, Belleville, Highland Park, and East Point. All coaches are trained, certified, and undergo background checks. They have a cheer program as well. You can register for football or cheer at bgcsm.org. Equipment, meals, transportation, all included for a chance to play for a championship at Ford Field against Nate Sudfeld for just $175 per child. Put the youth back in youth sports with BGCSM 3C Sports. The winner of that game will be the Lions' backup quarterback, by the way, I was told. Hour number 2, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, D-Mac here in the house. We got, of course, Around the Horn. We got KG, Young Justin, Spencer Raxter, and all of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread. Let's go Red Wings party. Just kind of wrapping up that quarterback discussion, which I hope we get to permanently. That's another reason I want the preseason game to be over Thursday. Let's go Red Wings party. Bring Jameis home. I want the Jameis experience. D-Mac, you know where I stand with that. I'd bench Goff if we could get Jameis Winston.
Stop it. Famous Jameis, man.
As long as he promises me it's either a 400-yard, 5-touchdown, 4-interception game or a 7 for 28, 98-yard, 6-interception game. No in between.
I'll pass.
D-Mac, you want to talk about fun.
What are we going to do with this guy?
I'm with Spenny. I think that Hendon Hooker can have the potential that if you need him to go in with the ones, that he can prepare himself and be mature enough. And we've seen that he brings something that none of the other quarterbacks bring, a little mobility out of the backfield. So I think that with Ben Johnson, creativity, that if he shows it, that he's ready, that he's definitely going to be the guy.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely. Nate Sudfeld for better. You can't downplay Nate Sudfeld's value in the locker room. But when it comes to winning a game or having to put the Nick Foles on anybody, you're naming names. I like Hendon Hooker. I'm willing to see what it has, and I'm willing to wait and hear the progress. And again, something I'll be looking to see. Does he reiterate that on Thursday with more time, more reps, healthier? He got his bell rung. So the whys are there. Now, if it's everything you thought when they drafted him, isn't this the reason that they drafted him last year in the 3rd round? Mm-hmm. For this specific reason?
Yeah. I believe so, ultimately.
And I trust Brad Holmes that being able to pick guys and develop. So I believe that it's not going to be a question going into this season. Yeah. And they're going to carry 3 quarterbacks.
No, I'm with you. I think that deep down that was the play. Was bring this dude in here. He can be the backup. Like Teddy Bridgewater, I think it was last year, $3 million, something like that?
Yeah, it's a little more than that, I thought. But.
Yeah, it was $3 or $4 million. I can't remember exactly. But Hendon Hooker's in here at $870,000 cap hit.
A lot cheaper.
So there you go. Yeah, that's your answer right there. Because Brad Holmes has proven too, like he can do a lot with $3 million. Mm-hmm. So that is it. On the other side of it, also too, do we have the Campbell with Khalif sound?
Yes, we do.
We do? Okay, because I'm curious to get a listen to this. I heard it in passing. I wasn't able to get the full clip. So he also addressed the wide receiver 3, which is the second most important thing in the history of Detroit sports. So Dan Campbell said this about the 3rd receiver spot.
I mean, it seems like it's a guy that has universal trust in this building. Why do we not talk about Raymond as your number 3? Is it simply a body type issue?
Yeah, well, yeah, I hope I haven't been the one who he is receiver 3 right now. I think the idea has always been we love Leaf as a returner, and Leaf brings a different skill set to the receiver position. He's got a little gadgetry. He's got some quickness underneath, and he's a returner. And to maximize both, boy, you'd love to, he's 20 plays a game, 25 plays a game. And so we would rather not play him 65 plays a game, but we will if we have to. So, yeah, he's receiver 3 right now, and that's fine. But that's why it would be nice to have somebody step up, because that just helps the room, and I think it makes everybody a little more potent. That's all. But, yes, we trust Leaf very much.
It's not a dynamic of X, Y, Z. I mean, the guys, if it's JMO, St. Brown, and Leaf out there, you feel that personnel can work within Ben's scheme and fit those roles.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, especially when you start talking about, Laporta's coming back. You got Gibbs. We got Demo. I mean, we'll be good there. I mean, when you said that, we trust all of those guys. And those three, there's enough flexibility in those 3 receivers between Saint, JMO, and Leaf you can do what you need to do. It's just about, there we go. You just don't want to overload guys, that's all. But if that's what it is, that's what it is, and we'll be good.
All right, so there it is, Dan Campbell. And D-Mac, I think there's an overriding message that you hear. There is one thing that's consistent throughout all those sound clips. Trust. That's it. That's all. And look, Khalif Raymond's, 8 years in? You know what you're getting with him. You know what he provides. And they seem more than comfortable with it.
Gadgetry. Like that.
That's a great term.
That was a great word. Never heard it used, but I mean, that is just describe Khalif Raymond. And again, when Dan Campbell talks, right? Yes, trust comes out, but it's the why, right? Every time he's explaining it, he explains the why, right? His why, his understanding of everything else. That makes a lot of sense to me, where you want to utilize Khalif Raymond in 25 plays. He's super valuable to that, but if we need to, we'll be out there 65 plays. Trust is a huge part. That goes in with culture, and like I said, when the guy next to you is more important than you are to yourself, that's what it is. That's like trust. And he said, did that not like ring in your ear too, that he said everybody in that wide receiver room he trusts? Because I don't think, as a fan base, we're not all there yet. We trust, the top guys, but what are these other guys that are coming in? So, again, it's culture. I like to hear that from the coach, because that ain't coach speak.
Right.
That's just him.
Good to see Tom Kennedy getting some love in the chat. I'm always gonna read the Tom Kennedy propaganda. There is no doubt. But again, for me, he's a pro. Like, you could go down the list, and Khalif Raymond's like literally one of the last people you're going to worry about. You know what I'm saying? He's been rock solid since he's been here. And you know what else he does, D-Mac? Every year, he always has some kind of game-flipping play. You know what I mean? Like, it's a big return, it's a big reception, it's a big play. He's one of those guys, D-Mac, that, like a role guy that impacts winning. I honestly believe that. Like, I'm very, very comfortable with Khalif Raymond. And especially in today's day and age, too, with their new goofball returns, which we still don't know. I don't think that as this season rolls on, I think you're just going to see teams kicking the ball out of the end zone again and giving it to them at the 30. Like, the line is too fine to be dicking around. And why would you risk a return getting popped on you for 8 yards or 9 yards? I would just kick it through the end zone and take it out. But anyway, the moral of the story is that Khalif Raymond is somebody that provides that as well. It's just, I feel very, very good about Khalif Raymond. Maybe more than most do, but I have the second Reynolds left. I was like, hey, I'm good for you. You got your bag, but see you later, man. We just got a guy for a fifth of your price.
And you have the confidence. Is that who you expect to slide into that X spot?
Right away, without a second thought, too. And I know that people are going to get caught up on the size and all of that, but for me, man, he's a pro. He's 8 years in the league at this size. I think he knows what he's doing.
He's a pro.
That's it. Where's the community? I guess, Spenny, Does anybody ever even talk about Khalif Raymond?
Not really.
No.
We know what we got. We know what we got. You know what you got out of Khalif Raymond. He's a gamer. He's a guy. He's a special teams ace. He's a great returner. And when he's called upon, he makes it happen. So you don't got to worry about Khalif Raymond.
Somebody brought up a good point, and I like to do this with the chat sometimes because they'll do the job for me. Theo says, many of these clowns think DPJ is the man. The dude looks washed up. He's not looking good.
Here's the thing. Let's go to Kenny, because Kenny, when we brought up who you looking to watch and whatever like that, you brought up specifically DPJ. You got to still be looking to see something out of him. I don't think the chat's out of line, are they?
No, they are at this point. I think he's done. He hasn't done anything to really stand out for the position. I think Khalif Raymond was always going to be the number 3, but it's a matter of the number 4 wide receiver position at this point. And I like Isaiah Williams better. I know they maybe wanted that big body target in the red zone and stuff of that nature, and I think that's why they let Reynolds go, is because they thought he would step into that role. But so far it hasn't worked out, and I need the best man for the job.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. Absolutely. So, again, my God, the game's tomorrow, right? Today's Wednesday?
Yeah.
It's Saturday, I thought. Oh, you talking about the Lions?
Yeah, Lions game.
Yeah, Saturday.
It is Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday, 1 o'clock.
Usually they run that last one on Thursday, just so you get that issue over with.
Yeah. I think
It
it's
is Saturday at 1 o'clock.
I'll check again.
Yeah.
I just looked
No,
on
I think it is Saturday at 1 o'clock. I do believe you're correct. And
yep, Saturday 101.
Just get it over with, dude.
Yeah.
For real. And I know no one's gonna play, but just get it over with so we can move on. That's all I'm asking for, man. Tell them about Mark Way. You all right there, Spanny?
No, I'm not. Dreaming of feeling a new home, but feeling the financial pinch, Mark White and Associates, your real estate experts, will help you, and your team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. Call Mark White and Associates today at 248-290-8242, or visit them at markwhitesells.com. Again, call Mark White today at 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true. It is Mark White and Associates.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
The countdown to kickoff is here. Your Detroit Lions are ready for another season of grit. Woodward Sports is your #1 destination for all breaking news and Lions coverage. We are Detroit's #1 sports network. We are Woodward Sports. Enough Detroit sports. Make sure you listen to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz next, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network.
Neil Rule here for Feldman Automotive. There's 18 Feldman Automotive locations in and around the Metro Detroit area. Of course, we all know about Feldman Chevrolet in Novi, Michigan's #1 Chevrolet dealer. But did you know? It doesn't matter what brand of car you want. Feldman can get it for you. Ford, Kia, whatever it is. Feldman Automotive has you covered, and they can offer you the Feldman Advantage, the very best car buying program in the world. That is right. They're not going to sit there and waste your time. They're going to get you your car. So you can go to feldmanauto.com, find what car you want. You can even start the buying process online and get it pushing and get you in your new car. Feldman Auto. Don't sleep on the service department as well. They are an elite service department also. Go to feldmanauto.com. All right, keeping it pushing. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Darren McCarty, KG in the building, Young Justin. We have Spencer Raxter as well. It is a Top 5 Wednesday. So remember, we got that coming up in just a little bit. Top 5 tax evaders. I think I came up with a great list with great reasoning. I saw D-Mac's list. It was pretty good as well. Do we know who to credit? Like, who came up with that? Do we know? Remember in the chat? I forgot.
I wasn't here for it.
That's right. You were talking to the IRS while we were gone.
I can't remember.
Yeah. But anyway, you know who you were, and that was elite work by you.
Yeah.
I just wanted to put that out there. But yeah, The councilman, D-Mac, Robert Colosia, sent to me on Twitter. How about this stat for you? The Jared Goff stats are really starting to pile up, certainly as he moves through his career. Lions quarterback Jared Goff averages more passing yards per game than Aaron Rodgers. What do you think? Because I know, and maybe this is a way of me shaking the tree. We talked about the Goff haters that are under the surface still. When I say that out loud, what's the first thing that pops in your mind, KG?
What?
Jared Goff averages more passing yards per game than Aaron Rodgers in his career.
Sounds about right to me.
Really?
Yeah.
You're not a Goff hater lurking beneath the surface.
Yeah, it sounds about right to me. He's I don't want to say a more accurate passer, but the type of offense that they run, it would make sense that he would have more passing yards per game.
What goes through your mind, Spenmo, when you hear that?
Hell no. No, I'm just kidding.
See, there he is.
No.
I knew I'd smoke you out.
No, it sounds about right. I mean, he's been in a better offense in the Lions than Aaron Rodgers had. He's got more weapons than Aaron Rodgers had when he was in Green Bay, so that makes sense. Got a better play caller, more weapons. Even back then, it wasn't as pass happy as the NFL is now. So, yeah.
Young Justin, what goes through your mind when you hear that?
I'd say it's shocking, but when you get past the initial layers of the narratives for each quarterback, I feel like it makes sense for what Spenny said, that he was on a better offense and the system makes sense. But I don't agree with the talent, though. I mean, he had Devontae Adams, he had Jordy Nelson. I mean, he had some
elite offensive lineman, $40 million, $35 million.
Bakhtiari and all that. I mean, he had an elite offensive line as well. So I'd say it's shocking, and the argument can be there for Jared Goff to be a better quarterback.
Here's one for you, D-Mac. Louis Bishop, no Neil. It makes you think Hall of Famer.
Well, it makes you think that you should have more reverence for Jared Goff as people seem to do for Aaron Rodgers, right? The one thing Rodgers has that Goff doesn't have is the Super Bowl. So to the point of whoever just said that about the Hall of Famer, you put a ring on his finger, he'll get there. But it just goes to show you, okay, speaks on the consistency to what we're talking about as being his stats. He's closer to his stats. So everybody who loves Aaron Rodgers thinks Aaron Rodgers is end-all be-all. It's closer than you think. So it lets me know I got the right guy for the job, especially looking around at my offense and what he can do, because it's a consistency that he's shown.
Kiazi, Neil, Goff haters literally read that exact stat and they'll call it BS and say that it's rigged or something for the narrative of the article or the clip. No, it's just it was interesting. I was a step short of shocked. I will say it like that. Because people do forget, too. Like, he had moments of eliteness when he played for the Rams.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, if you look at some of the great games played over the last decade, he's been in some of them.
Never forget that Monday Night Football game.
It was incredible. It was incredible.
3-0 against the guy.
So,
and I'd love to hit on D-Mac's point real quick, because no one else that I would rather have leading this Detroit Lions team, because at the same time, if there was a different quarterback per se in this system, the weapons would have to change. These weapons are built for Jared Goff. This offense is completely built for Jared Goff, and it's partially why he's so successful. I mean, Ben Johnson's amazing, and all those keys together, the formation of all of those weapons and the coaching coming together makes Jared Goff elite and puts him at the pedestal that he's at now. And that's why quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson, I'd rather have Jared Goff leading the Lions than Lamar Jackson.
Well, to your point, look at how they built the team to protect him. Because we know we don't want Jared Goff scrambling. We don't want Jared Goff under pressure. But when you protect him to this offense, like you said, they're elite. So that's how they built this team. And you with the Hosses and everybody on the same page. So you're right. And to me, it's shown. And yeah, Neil, I was a little bit. Well, that's a little surprising. I wouldn't have thought that. But then when I dig deeper on it, it goes to show you this just goes to your argument is that, like, yeah, but he's not the same guy he was in LA, but he has these games when you go back of brilliance and, big touchdown performances and yardage and stuff like that. So he has that he's proven he could do it. You keep him protected. That's what he's continued to do here. Put up the numbers.
Tammy Chin, Darren Neal, Justin Spencer, rest of the gang, have a great day. Have a great day, Tammy.
Have a good day, Tammy.
Yeah.
See you, Tammy.
Hi, Tammy.
Go Red Wings.
Robert Colosia, when Goff leads us to the Super Bowl, he solidifies the gold jacket.
Pretty much.
I mean,
whoever gets the job done in Detroit is going in the Hall. Period.
I think he should be put in just for winning 2 playoff games in 7 days in Detroit.
Damn near.
They should have stopped before the clock hit 0. They should have stopped it at 1 and put Goff in the Hall of Fame.
No, seriously.
And Brad Holmes.
You're not wrong.
Ryan Lentz, if only he could throw a spiral. See, that's it. I was smoking people like Ryan Lentz out.
Yeah. Ryan Lentz isn't closeted though.
He's out there.
He's overt.
I think that's what we're gonna like the thing this year, and you heard little rumblings of it. But that's one of the things working on with JMO is that deep ball. So I think you're gonna see a little bit for all the naysayers that wonder about Goff's deep ball. I think that's been more of a priority in the offseason.
They said they have been working on it a lot.
Yeah, so I think once we see that. I think once you see a couple of those, the rest of the naysayers are like they're gonna have to go okay, right? Because that's it. If you
D-Mac, I like to do this every now and then. I just like to check in and check out. Maybe set a trap for some folks. See if they take the bait. Ryan Lentz, just grab it right away. And there's some
the only fish that are biting are just all the regular rat. Stuff around the.
But he be setting bear traps for those type of people.
No, exactly. But don't you see the murmur? Mm-hmm. It's lower.
Yeah.
We realize.
Desert Stallion 14. I love Jared Goff, but let's not kid ourselves in saying he's a better quarterback than Aaron Rodgers. Who said that?
Nobody.
See, this is what I'm talking about.
I ain't hear you say that.
Did anybody say that?
No, we said his
maybe I'm saying maybe I did and I don't remember.
I hear you say it.
Okay. I didn't say any of this, by the way. Robert Colosia sent it to me.
Yeah.
But anyway, stats are what they are. There's no denying it. But there is the eye test, and Goff's passes never look as crisp as Rodgers. Goff's a better leader. See?
He is a better leader.
I'm telling they're under the surface.
I don't think that's hating. I just think that's true.
Yeah.
I know, but
Rodgers
you wanted
throws a
to
better
say
ball.
that.
Goff's a better leader, and for this team, Goff is the right leader.
I think
you don't want Aaron
Rodgers
Rodgers behind this team. It's not the same team.
Not at all.
Aaron Rodgers
they don't buy into the whatever. This is Goff's team, and everybody's all in.
Yeah.
But there's something, and you said that, Spenny, well. You said Aaron Rodgers is a cancer.
Yeah.
He is. He's been that way.
100%.
He's had former teammates come out and say it. Like, there's no surprise. He's
100%.
Goff is a professional. He's a leader. He's a guy's guy. Locker room loves him, and that's a huge important factor of being QB1.
That's part of it. That is part of the package, dude. That is part of it. For the young people going out in the workforce, I think on your resume you should put "I'm not a dick."
Yeah.
I think that's a quality.
It is. It should be.
That's a trait.
When you go into a job interview, I'm not a dick. So you should hire me just off that.
100%. It doesn't matter where I went to school. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
I think it's part, and I don't know why it doesn't get, in Desert Stallion's words right there. Why is that not a trait that puts him in the conversation with Aaron Rodgers? Why is it because Rodgers' passes look more crisp? Yeah, but Goff's not a dick and a cancer.
Yeah.
That's more valuable to me than his pass doesn't look. The numbers say they're fine.
Yeah.
They get to where they need to go.
It's a good thing our guys can catch wobblers.
Whatever.
Yeah, you know what? That's a good thing.
Doesn't seem to be a big deal.
No.
Amon-Ra St. Brown seems to be okay with it. All right, when we come back, we are going to talk to our guy, Dr. Jeff Pierce of the Michigan Sports and Spine Center. I got a common man question for him. He's going to try to put Spenny back together. On air.
We
don't know what happened to Spenny.
We broke Spenny?
Yeah, Spenny broke himself. I don't know. I have a getting old question for him.
I probably know how. Did you fall off your tube?
No. I don't know what it is. We didn't even go tubing because it was raining all weekend.
Wild night with the ladies.
I don't know.
He did deny it. So just
All right. Well, Spenny, this could be a read for you in 10 years, maybe. Dealing with divorce, child custody, visitation, or other family law issues. No, we're getting serious, though. Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law in Birmingham, they will have your back. How many of you are losing sleep at night right now? For real. Only you know the answer to that question. How about you get someone on your side like KDK Law with over 10 years of experience? Get someone with 24/7 availability. Scan the QR code on the screen right now, and they will pay your filing fee if you mention Woodward Sports. It's very, very simple, everybody. They've done it. They've been there. They've been through the grind. They know exactly what to expect. Get the experts on you. It's not going to go away on its own, everybody. All right? KDK Law in Birmingham, divorce, family, criminal law, they'll have your back.
So just to get the heated steering wheel, I also had to spring for the bigger rims.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Those upgrades will cost you an arm and a leg every time.
Hey, new car crew, how'd it go this weekend? I got a great deal on mine.
How?
I went to Randy Wise, not those other guys. They got me in a great new ride, and they didn't break my budget. Hey, could you pass me the sugar?
How?
Never mind.
He made the wise choice.
Yep.
Make the wise choice at randywisechevy.com.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. The countdown to kickoff is here. Your Detroit Lions are ready for another season of grit. Woodward Sports is your #1 destination for all breaking news and Lions coverage. We are Detroit's #1 sports network. We are Woodward Sports.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. This is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC. Same great service that customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Ave, just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today at lesstanford.com. Les Stanford Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. Vroom, vroom.
All right, keeping it pushing, everybody. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Darren McCarty. We got KG, Young Justin, of course, Spencer Raxter. Check out their interview they did with John Daly on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. A lot of fun there. And plus, John Daly's cool.
John Daly's the man.
The rock star. As you said, great question you asked him. Where are the golf rock stars? I don't think he's ever been asked that before.
Yeah.
You could tell in the response. And he was right. Too much money.
There's way too much money involved, yeah.
There's absolutely too much money involved. As we do every week, we catch up with our guy, our injury insider, of course, Dr. Jeff Pierce of the Michigan Sports and Spine Center. His appearance powered by MRI of Southfield. But Dr. Pierce, appreciate you. And look, we'll get right into it today. I know that we talk about professional sports injuries and your expertise and your clips do well on social media and all that. But look, I want to do this, I don't want to say patient doctor thing.
We're going to organic or something?
No, we're not. Yeah, well, maybe. We are right here. But Doc, look, you are not just, Doc Rock or Doc Pickleball or the doctor to the athletes. Like your practice, you deal with everyday people as well.
Absolutely. That's the majority.
MichiganSportsSpine.com. And, Doc, for me, here's the deal. I run a ton, 15 to 20 miles a week, do some half marathons, maybe sneak in some 30-mile weeks, eat well, all of it. Do some lifting and stuff like that. I know I do a piss-poor job with flexibility. and as I look around the sports landscape, right, the athletes, how important is flexibility? I'm asking you this. I know I need to value it more. Give me like a relation to running in relation to lifting.
So, there was a big thing on McCaffrey on why he's better, right? So what it was, and I think I forwarded on to Woodward Sports because it's kind of hitting what you said, ironically, but flexibility is ignored, right? They think, oh, I run.
I do
everything.
flat out. I ignore it.
Yeah.
Flat out.
It's probably the number one thing. Nutrition's probably number one. Flexibility is number two. Working out's number three. Okay? Genetics is playing a role in there all along. The pickleball, you sarcastically said Dr. Pickleball, but that's a lot of reasons for a lot of the injuries is the lack of flexibility. And through the years, physiologically, you're tightening up. Your collagen, the elasticity, everything is tightening up as you go. So as a kid, yeah, you can be, rubber band man as a kid, but as you get older in the activities, you're like, well, I'm active, I'm warming myself up. You are in a certain smaller scale. Like when I say you run, like if you run, there's different ways we evaluate how you run. If you're a sprinter, if you're a long distance, it's your stride lengths. Your muscle spindles are related to all that. So if you run and you don't full stride, or people that walk, let's go simpler, people that just walk. Well, I'm walking an hour a day. Well, you actually can make things worse because you can tighten things up because you're tightening a muscle that's already shortened. That's the last thing you want to do. So in your case, if you're tightening muscles that are already shortened, not to their full length, when you do an activity like natural movements in life, like someone honks the horn behind you and you suddenly move, all of a sudden your whole side of your neck is stiffened up and you just pull through all those fibers and you get a rebound effect. So to answer your question simply, you need to pay attention to it. As you age, you definitely need to pay attention to it. The better, I've always talked to you about building your infrastructure, respecting your ankle, your knee. This is the same thing. You've got to respect. If you can't touch your toes, if you can't put your hands behind your back, and for women, fasten their bra those are all signs, red flags that you got to work on your flexibility. Yoga, back when I was a kid, was like, oh my God, you do yoga. Now it's like a standard between yoga and Pilates for flexibility. So to simply answer your question, don't underestimate because you're going to have an unnecessary injury. Like when we go to the Lions and stuff like that, a lot of these injuries, a lot of tight hamstrings, Achilles, things like that, are they properly warming up? The dynamic warm-up, everybody now knows what a dynamic warm-up is. They know what the core muscles are. So we're educating the community, but are they paying attention? Like you said, the lay person, the person who wants to be a weekend warrior. That's why we call them weekend warriors.
Yeah.
It's like you work all week and then you think you're still that 20-year-old athlete on the weekend. That's why we have a lot of weekend warrior injuries.
D-Mac, I mean, just going to it, the flexibility thing. Did you give it its proper due?
Not back in the day. No, but now that's probably the one thing that I do, whether it's before golf or just whatever else, and knowing it. You look at all the, I know at my, all the different stretch, the tri-coveries, the stretch slabs, all these different, there's a reason that they're out there. It's showing because it's the mobility and it's more of everyday life. I know for my golf game, which is what the one thing I'm concerned about,
to
get adjusted to stretch, you crack some things, you put things back in place, but it just allows you to get ahead, right? To get ahead. So for whatever you do, Doc, I think that one of the things is you brought up is that even if you go out, and a lot of people like to go walk their dogs at night or go with the husband and wife or whatever, go for a walk in the neighborhood. It's still imperative maybe to stretch out what you're going to use so you don't hurt yourself. Maybe talk more about like what injuries can people have just by simply walking that they don't realize.
Like walking, I have like young people like, well, I walk, and I'm not going to define young versus old. But the thing is, it's what you do. If you're walking those short little steps, you're tightening all your hamstrings, your glutes, your back muscles. You need to do like I say, if you're a 60-minute walker, every 5 minutes, do 10 lunges, do 10 side steps. Just switch it up, lengthen your stride, and that's what you need to do. Or walk backwards, or walk sideways, or do 10 toe-ups in between. You need to add something to it. You're spending an hour, if not longer. But the thing is, when you do that, they think I walk every day, and it's doing. But you're not really understanding the physiology of your body. Your body has to lengthen. Again, it goes back to if you strengthen a short muscle, you're going to have trouble. Like I love the guys picking on the gym, the guys that walk in like this, right? I'm curling 100 pounds, buddy, but I can't go to here. Well, then when they go lift that weight up from here and they have to extend, that's when it tears. It tears
Right.
because that muscle's so short, it's not functional. That's why you see long-distance runners. They're long, lanky guys. I mean, that's for a reason. That's why they're more successful than others. So I did want to get to the McCaffrey thing.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm referring to? Did you see that?
I saw. I didn't see like the actual clip of it, but I saw people talking about it on social media.
But it's huge because who do you want to be, right? What type of player are you? Are you powerlifting? Are you relating more to powerlifting? Or are you relating more to plyometrics, right? The plyometrics, the explosive, the change of direction, the way he's strengthening differently. There's still strengthening. Just because you don't have your big beauty muscles going, you're better off. I mean, McCaffrey's he defined. He's against the grain, right? Like you look at him, like how is he doing what he's doing? So he is training differently. His speed drills, his plyometric drills, his explosive drills, his change of direction, which is so important. Like in hockey, they do that, but they're on skates, but it's a little different.
You look at Amon-Ra St. Brown, right? That's a powerlifter, whatever. But the combination of, yes, the lifting, but you look at the plyometrics and the explosives and stuff, but there's a perfect combination of why he's so good and what he does and how you have to combine properly, because you have to extend the muscle and then build the muscle. You can't build it while it's short, because then you're going to run into problems of stretching.
Right, you're more prone to injury.
Understanding how it's a combination of both, and some guys need more of this and less of this, and that's where it comes down to having a good doctor and a trainer.
Yeah, Doc Pierce, Dr. Jeff Pierce, our injury insider, joining us, and we're just kind of real talking right now. I know we do a lot of the sports world stuff like that, but I like to take advantage. When you do come in here, let me bottom line this and come clean for you. All right.
All right.
I would rather run 5 or 6 miles and burn my 800 or 1,000 calories and sweat and grind. You know what I'm saying? Like get in that mental space where we're going to go to battle here and get it done. I just can't get myself to do a stretch session. I'm not going to sweat. Like I know it's hard, right? Like it's not easy, but I just can't get myself in the mental space to want to do that. Because I don't feel, and is it a macho? It's not a macho thing per se. I just feel like I'm not getting everything I can get out of the time I have to work out by using some of that time stretching. You want to break me down? You broke me down there, Doc. There it is.
So would you say, Doc, just to answer his question, if he's going to run for, how long does it take you to run that?
Yeah, a 10K is about 55 minutes.
Okay, so say an hour. Would he be more beneficial to understand that if he spent 15 minutes of stretching and 45 minutes and doing less running or whatever else, he would maximize?
And that's a great point. Like, can I feel comfortable with myself doing? Do I feel like I'm not cheating?
Sweat on.
You know what I'm saying?
His stretch on.
Am I making sense to you or no?
Yeah, I mean, look, you're like you said, you're you're not the first one asking me. It's
okay.
How do I spend my time? What's more beneficial to my body? What's the analysis we do? What's the analytics? All that stuff, whatever you're saying. So I think Mac's point, you're giving yourself an hour to work out. You got an hour window before you got to go back to real life. You probably, what really turns the key for a lot of people is an injury. Like when I'm in a facility or a gym or whatever, the guys they're the ones that put the mat down, they put their towel down, and they want to stretch, right? And those are great. Why'd you do that? Well, I had back surgery at age 25, and my doc, there's always an injury story related to it. So unfortunately, sometimes the injury has to motivate. But to be clean and proactive, yeah, you need to do it. The thing is, it's like when you run, like you're running, you want to do a dynamic warm-up to get your body warm, and then you get a better stretch, right? So there's a certain stretch you should do at the beginning, the dynamic, and then you do a full stretch at the end. And as you're warmed up, you don't need to do the 20 minutes. You need to do a good concentrated 5 to 10 minutes as you're cooling your body down. Make that your cool down. Instead of just walking another block, do you do a cool down?
I do. I flip around and go backwards on the treadmill for a good 8 minutes.
Okay. I mean, that's
just to kind of reverse,
Yeah, you reverse. That's not bad. So you're getting the isometric, you're getting the different forget the other muscles that are working.
We're going the other direction.
You're going the other direction, like an inversion table. But if it's you can do a more concentrated thing. If we increase your speed rate or your cadence or whatever during your 45-minute run, you're still playing your same music, you're still doing the same zone, but you may be more beneficial doing a longer cool down where it is a stretch because it's easier to stretch then.
Woodward Sports chat thread, Freddie Felt 313. Dr. Pierce is legit.
Oh, jeez.
What?
That's great.
Oh, okay. Nate Sudfeld, who I figure he would be at practice right now, but he seems to be in our chat, says, I actually work on being inflexible. So there's that one.
Well, he's got other issues, though.
He's got other issues, I guess, then. But, yeah, so, again,
Well, it's funny. I mean, relevant to what's going on, there's a performer tonight that actually hurt himself last night. He's gone from smaller venues, now he's bigger venues, and it's just dance. It's not always athletes. My entertainers are athletes. And he tweaked his back, and we're dealing with that actually after the show. I mean, he's got to get a quick fix because these guys are back-to-back. So it's everything. The other thing with entertainers, which I was thinking, it's like people don't give them enough respect. We always picked on
100%.
Bobby for like, you're not in shape. We'll put you through the wall. Remember those days backstage? But when you start thinking about, you start playing a game at running around and singing. Like most people can't talk while they're on the treadmill or on a bicycle. Right. When their heart rate's up, I mean, you have to have good lungs,
cardio,
good cardio, good all that. And the entertainers are starting to realize that also.
Chase in the chat. I always neglect my stretching and cool down, but I always notice a difference when I give it its proper attention. Doc, before we'll let you go here, we'll let you ride off on this one. Mark McCormick. Do you think if Javi did stretches, he could actually hit that ball in the other batter's box that he swings at?
No.
Absolutely.
There's not as much flexibility in the world.
No, Doc.
But just one more thing.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of our injuries that come in are result. Like you have to be careful who you go see. Not promoting us, but promoting a physician that does sports medicine, musculoskeletal. You have to promote that because probably 70% of our stuff is mechanical discomfort that is solved with proper mechanics.
And the bottom line, it's your space. This is what you do. It's not.
You
you're not a general, family doctor. Give me some antibiotics because I got to. This is your lane. This is what you do. That's why I like to. And today, I appreciate everybody, kind of humoring me. I'll monopolize your time like I did today.
Well, you did, and hopefully you're going to learn from it.
I will. I do the toe ups and everything like that for this day.
Better start stretching.
Yeah.
No,
I was gonna say
anybody over 25, really 25, female, male, it starts going down. Your hormones are changing, your body's changing, your body habits are changing. If you can get a routine at the 20, at least by 25, then you'll be better off in your 50s and 60s. If we can promote that, hopefully there'll be enough Medicare dollars for us when we get old enough.
Next time, Nick in the chat. We don't have time for it now, but he says, "How can I do steroids without doing steroids?" Well, that's secret sauce related. That's next week's show.
There's self-testosterone promotion, so look that up.
No, Doc, we appreciate you, my friend. Thanks for coming by, as always.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, Dr. Jeff Pierce, Michigan Sports and Spine Center, as always, powered by Amon-Ra of Southfield. We do got to tell, hey, fix Spenny when you something's wrong with Spenny, so you gotta get Spenny taken care of. Tell him about Randy Wise.
Absolutely. How would you like to play golf with a legend, myself, Kirk Gibson, Braylon Edwards, or Calvin Johnson? It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. Register today, and you can play like a VIP. Go to woodwardsports.com and scan the code on the screen. When it comes to your next car or truck, make the wise decision. Randy Wise Automotive.
And let me tell you about more Lions programming we got coming for you this year. You got the watch party at Hayes Social. It's going to be awesome. The heavyweights are going to be taking care of business. And then, of course, the post-game show immediately after every single game with Stick and Anson. We got the best coverage in the state, only on Woodward Sports, Detroit's #1 sports network. All of this is sponsored by Sabbath Coffee, so make sure you're tuning in during football season for the best Lions coverage in the state.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
The Ally Challenge presented by McLaren is back August 22nd through 25th at Warwick Hills and Grand Blanc. Be there for PGA Tour Champions Golf, Family Night, concerts, and more. Tickets start at just $15. Get yours at allychallenge.com today.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody! The countdown to kickoff is here. Your Detroit Lions are ready for another season of grit. Woodward Sports is your #1 destination for all breaking news and Lions coverage. We are Detroit's #1 sports network. We are Woodward Sports.
Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza is taking over Michigan. Locations are popping up all over Metro Detroit. They got the best pizza and the best biscuits and the best chicken in the game. I heard that Brady Wood would possibly be getting some Soroki's for Woodward Sports today.
Oh,
wait a minute.
Did he lie?
Breaking news?
I'm just trying to push that into existence.
Oh.
I've been texting
Come
him
on,
about
Brady.
it, and he hasn't texted me back. So make sure if you want Soroki's, just go to Soroki's.com. Soroki's, now that's crispy.
Come on, Brady. Make it happen.
You hear that back there, Brady? Come on, get it together. All right, coming down the stretch, your Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Darren McCarty, KG, Young Justin, Spencer Raxter, hopefully some Soroki's. Guys, I've told you this before. I know they're a sponsor and everything, but no BS.
No.
Their chicken hits different than all the other chicken. It just does. It just
Also,
does.
if you're a pizza guy like me, pepperoni, bacon, and fresh garlic. They have fresh garlic as a topping. So
Oh,
good.
for real?
So good.
Yeah, I had that in the Stromboli last week. That
my
shit was so
God.
Oh, the Stromboli.
Oh,
Hey! Hey!
He's got some gabagool.
Oh, the gabagool.
Yes.
Oh, that shit's fire.
The biscuits, too. They got the best biscuits out there.
It is
It's
a
not
top
even
5
close.
Wednesday.
Yes.
Top five.
I forgot who said it in the chat, but
I want to say Huron Markham, but don't quote me on
but
it.
let's rip into it. I'm excited for this one. Top 5 tax evaders.
Yes, sir.
Of all time. Your criteria is your criteria. However you want to do it. Spencer Raxter will bat leadoff. Why is it a top 5 list?
Because it's half as boring as the top 10 list.
No, let's go.
All right, my top 5 tax evaders. at number 5, I got the great
Ooh, that
Willie
picture.
Nelson.
Yeah.
You know, obviously Willie Nelson was cut down a little. You know, he's doing his thing. You might have just forgot. You know?
Right.
He's got some other things that occupy his brain. Maybe Willie just forgot to pay his taxes. At number 4, I got Wesley Snipes. Again,
Yeah.
you know,
Legend.
obviously historical case of evading taxes, and you know they caught up to him. Wesley's Theory, fantastic song. Make sure you check that out. At number 3, I got Pete Rose, the greatest
Yes.
hitter of all time. Should be in the Hall. Also, the coolest, not getting into the Hall ever is he was betting on himself. He wasn't betting, against his team.
He wasn't
or against
throwing it.
himself. He was saying, I'm going to get 3 hits today.
Yeah.
And then he'd go out there and get 3 hits.
He believed more than the other guys on his team.
Literally.
Right?
It's awesome. Love that. Number 2, I got the Woat up there, Lauryn Hill. Obviously, the greatest woman rapper of all time,
Yes.
Lauryn Hill.
Legend.
Unfortunately got caught up. The IRS gets us all
sexy,
eventually.
Yeah.
And then at number 1, I have Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage holds a fond spot in my
Yes.
heart because, at when I was at MSU, we would do Nick Cage Wednesdays, where we'd watch a Nicolas Cage movie every Wednesday night. So
he has one for every Wednesday.
Mandy. Have you ever seen Mandy?
No.
That is a great. It's like honestly, like all trolling aside, fantastic movie. Like you should go watch it. It's really good. He does a bunch of drugs and starts killing people with an axe.
So all his movies.
Oh, dude, it's so sick. Love Nicolas Cage. But he got by the IRS.
No one's above, as you said.
No one's above.
No one's above it.
Yep.
No one.
IRS and cancer.
Yeah.
Can't do nothing with it.
Good list, Benny.
Batting
and
second.
Javi Baez, obviously.
Yeah.
Can't do anything with it.
Unfortunately. Yeah, I wish he had some tax problems right now. He had to go away, but he probably doesn't. Young Justin, you batting second?
I am batting second.
All right, let's get it.
Let's
Young
get
Justin's
after
top
it.
5 list. Ooh, look at that.
Yep. Throwback to the high school days. But at number 5.
All soccer players?
Yeah, I did some research, and the soccer players get caught up at the 2019-2020 World Cup. They got a little caught up in the law. So
Neymar, man.
Neymar, I mean, he's
got
one of
my
the most
guy, man.
electrifying players to watch. But off the field, he seemingly had to pay $1 million fine for a tax evasion in the Brazilian courts. And number 4.
Not exclusive to America, as we found out.
Yes.
Tax
Right.
evaders.
Yeah.
Yes. Number 4, I'm not going to get into a lot of detail. Spenny hit the nail on the head with Pete Rose, so we're just going to keep it pushing.
It's Pete
Number
Rose.
3, Lawrence Taylor, the greatest pass rusher in NFL history. He paid a $125,000 tax evasion fee to the U.S. government, so he's up there. Number 2, as he should be behind Messi, even on this list.
Easy
but
guy.
Ronaldo, he did some shady stuff when he was in France and Portugal. He had two different occasions where he was a tax evader. And then number 1, Lionel Messi. He almost went to 21 months in prison for his tax evasion, but he was able to ultimately avoid it. Of
course.
And you never hear about that.
No, and we're not talking about we're talking about Messi, Ronaldo, and Neymar. This soccer money, Neil, you relate. We're talking hundreds of millions.
Oh, dude, it's absurd. Yeah.
Like we're talking huge money.
CR7 paid $21.8 million and $17.7 million. Twice.
And Leo Messi, he's Teflon. No, I never even knew he had tax problems like that. Never
This is
heard
by
about
ESPN,
it.
by the way. I found this on ESPN.
Nobody ever talks about the fact that he's a brand ambassador for the Saudi government as well. They pay him $30 million a year to be a, quote, brand ambassador. No one ever talks about that either. They crush Liv.
I would do that in a heartbeat.
They crush Liv, but Leo, wow, that's different. Oh, that's different.
Well, that's Messi.
We love Messi. He's the GOAT, man.
different.
Spenny. What do I chop liver over here? Chop liver over here. You get $1.50.
Betting
$150.
third, of course, it is KG. Your
Yes,
top
sir.
5 tax evader.
In the 3 hole, here we go. Number 5, Donald Trump.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Because, look, it hasn't been proven yet, but we ain't seen the tax returns. So I'm just saying, man, I know he up to something. That man is up to something. Number 4, Chris Tucker. And there was a...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man, $12 million, man, he owed to the IRS.
And that was about the time he just went away, right?
Thank you. Yes, there was a period in the 2000s where he disappeared off the face of the earth as being one of the most famous black actors around.
Dude, Rush Hour and then poof.
Exactly. And now we know why he owed 12. Yo, man's great. But yeah, he owed $12 million to the IRS.
And it cost him his career, in apparently.
He got it back, though. He got it back.
Chris Tucker after Kanye said that.
Yeah. He looks so confused. It's so funny. Shout out to Chris Tucker, man. But at number 3, probably the most gangster person on this list, Miss Martha Stewart.
Only one that's done actual time.
I'm trying to tell you.
Dude, did time, insider trading.
Yes. Not only did she do a bid for insider trading, she owed $220,000 to the IRS. And get this, she thought she didn't have to pay it because she was staying in Connecticut when her residency was in New York the whole time. So shout out to Martha, man. Big gangster. Number 2, Nick Cage, because, it's Nick Cage. If you ever wonder why Nick Cage has so many movies, it's because he owed $14 million to the IRS.
Yep.
He had to get out there and start acting, man. He's got a movie for every day of the week. Shout out Nick Cage.
Nick Cage the GOAT.
And at number 1, Wesley Snipes, the most famous tax evader. He only owed $7 million, not as much as everybody else, but there has been numerous song lyrics about Wesley not paying his taxes.
Yep.
It's been known for years that he wasn't paying his taxes.
You went about that life.
Shout out to the GOAT, man. And
Shout
he
out
came out
Blade.
on the other side of it. Shout out, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great
Absolutely.
list, man.
Blade, man. Look
Yeah,
at him.
right. Like, come on,
He's too
man.
busy fighting vampires.
Right.
He's got to worry about paying taxes.
Right.
Mr. Sidney Dean.
Get that
absolutely.
Marvel bag.
All right, bat and cleanup. Darren McCarty's top
Absolutely.
5 tax evaders.
Here we
Matt.
go. Oh,
The Belleville Bulls.
Bell Vegas. Bell Vegas days, baby. Anyways, number 5, Richard Hatch, the first guy to win $1 million on Survivor.
No.
He owes
First ever, and he didn't pay taxes. Yeah, and so they got him with that, and then they came back around, and he had to owe more taxes, like 2000,
Wow.
2001. He did it a couple times.
Wow.
Leona Helmsley.
D-Mac got deep on his
He
list.
did.
One of the
He did.
richest people, what was it, hotels and stuff for their husband and stuff, but she like owed hundreds of, like tons of money and stuff like that. She actually did go to jail, I believe. For whatever, but that's an old school like that's Spenny's.
It's one of the OGs.
Yeah.
That'd be a great sugar mama for Spenny.
Hell
Oh, yeah.
Willie Nelson, what can I say?
throw my back out
He
again.
just forgot you got high.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you
He's
really
like,
don't
come on,
smoke
man.
weed.
Y'all
Willie
chill on
should
Willie,
smoke
man.
weed with Willie again. You forget to,
Right.
middle of April.
Right,
I mean,
y'all
you just
chill on
fucking-
Willie, man.
That's cropping. I don't know. I agree with KG. The
Big
biggest-
gangster.
Two big gangsters. Martha Stewart at number 2 for everything that she did.
Yeah.
And still come out smelling like roses.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
No,
Changed her
talk
whole
about
image
throwing
around.
My back out.
Absolutely. Now her and
Martha
Snoop are
Stewart's
doing
hot.
stuff.
Yeah. Every time, though, it's literally
I
her
can't
and
wait
Snoop
to
with
smoke
everything.
Martha's weed.
I
Oh, it's
And
gonna
then
be great.
number 1,
Do
you
a lot
know,
of things
the
with Martha
only
Stewart.
thing,
Yes.
the only thing to bring down the most powerful person probably in the country was the old tax evasion. So whenever
Yes.
I think taxes, like you can't go back, it was always that's how they got Al Capone.
That was the only way they could get it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lots of love for Al Capone, obviously, on the list.
Of course.
Red Fox certainly being represented as well.
Elizabeth, I'm coming to you.
Art Vandelay, Will Smith was elite. Heard his first 4 seasons on Fresh Prince, went to the IRS.
Oh, damn.
Low key, I didn't know that.
I did know that.
Big,
That's news
Big
to me.
Willie style, man.
Yeah, man.
I got that CD. I still got it.
No, absolutely.
That's a banger.
Oh, man.
got
Right
jiggy
next-
with the IRS.
It's right next to my Chumbawamba CD. Actually, that's
I
honestly
get
true.
knocked down.
People wondering where Queen Latifah is in this list.
Damn,
well,
damn.
man.
Hey, she's the.
Chase threw Nike in there because they only paid 5% of their taxes in 2021.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I think the NFL and Bezos should be in here too somewhere.
Somewhere.
Latifah's
I'm telling you.
All right, let's close it down. Here it is. My
She's the
top,
equalizer.
my top
You're
five,
right.
my top 5 tax evader
Y'all leave
list.
Queen Latifah alone.
I couldn't evade the humidity down in South Georgia that night.
Clearly.
That was real. I
You're
got
not coming out of the hot box?
I got number 5, Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
forgot.
and it's not Mike's fault, right? He has all these fights in all these different countries.
Right.
I wouldn't even be. He had to pay taxes at one time in 27 different countries.
Jesus.
Like, come on, who's gonna remember all?
The
that?
Rumble
Yeah.
in the Jungle.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
No, nobody's
I'm
got
knocking
time
people's
for
brains
that.
out. I ain't got time for that.
I won't hold it against Mike.
No,
I
of
won't.
course not.
Number 4, Pete Rose. I give Pete Rose credit, and I put him on my list because he didn't evade it. He just made false returns.
Yeah.
Like no one was gonna catch it.
Yeah.
He just said, "Hey,
Your
let me."
salary is public.
Yeah, he was like, "Let me see if I can throw this one by him here."
He is the biggest schemer of all
He
time.
just made a fake tax return 2 years in a row.
Pete Rose is the man.
Yeah.
Put this man in the hall
Pete
now.
Rose is the man.
He's in the
Now.
Tax Evasion Hall of Fame.
Fame. Hall of
Hall of
Fame.
Famers. He should be in both.
Wesley Snipes, he took a different tack. He
Yep.
just didn't pay taxes.
Yep. He took my approach. I'm just not gonna pay it.
He just didn't file.
I'm act like it don't exist.
And like it happened one year, and then he just didn't pay again the next year. And then the third year, he didn't do it again. That's elite, man. He
It
didn't
is.
just talk about it. He beat about it.
Yeah, that's for sure.
For number 2, I got Yamir Yager. Yager certainly, that's like we talked about all those movies Fresh Prince did. That's why Yager played 28 years professional hockey.
Still playing.
He's
Still
still
playing in
playing.
Russia.
Because he's still got tax issues.
Jesus,
and
man.
Yamir Yager would just do the memorabilia shows, DMAC, a circuit you're familiar with. He would get his bag of money and just take it and leave. And never talk about it again.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Well,
Not at all.
well, there is nothing wrong with that, except for the companies that write that bag have to submit to the IRS that they wrote that bag. That's where some of it went.
Can't just get a Venmo?
Right.
No, absolutely. And Al Capone, of course, number one. Al Capone did. You'll never convince me he didn't do it on purpose. Here's a murder record of hundreds of murders in the name of business
Makes
and
sense.
mob hits and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Do you want to go to jail for that?
Yep.
Or do you want to go to jail
Trafficking
for
alcohol.
tax evasion?
Yeah.
He did it on purpose.
He went to white collar prison. Yeah,
exactly.
100%.
He could bring all his bootleg alcohol in there with him.
And you'll
no
never,
double jeopardy. You can't
you'll
do nothing.
never convince me that he didn't do it on purpose.
That's fair.
You'll never convince me. He was elite. KG, people want to know where Al Sharpton is.
Oh, everybody kept saying Al Sharpton. Y'all got to enlighten me on Al, man. I didn't know he was getting down like that.
So there it
That's
is.
hilarious.
Queen Latifah should have been on my list for
Yeah.
sure. She's the equalizer. She's going to get herself.
Y'all leave Queen
I
Latifah
remember when
alone.
that first came out, and somebody commented and
You and IRS.
Going to equalize?
You and IRS.
Jay Cruz in 71, laughing my ass off again. Great show. People want to know where Al Sharpton and Shohei.
Oh, Shohei is.
Yeah.
He's a recent one.
Al Sharpton owes $4.5 million.
Damn.
Still owes?
Damn, Al.
That was
Al,
from,
you got
that
that,
was
Al.
from 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm. That's why he lost weight, because he was running from the IRS.
Kevin Donaldson, where's Shakira?
Shakira, I did hear she had tax
It's in her
problems.
hips.
But yeah, who's going to hang up Shakira?
I don't know.
The hips don't lie.
Yeah.
Tax
They
return
don't.
Must have.
The tax return
Right.
did. The hips didn't lie, but the tax return did. Real quick, Planet Fitness, right? We're live at the Planet Fitness
Pierce,
Studios. Yeah. Big Dr. Appreciate Dr. Pierce pulling through, too. Brought to you by Amon-Ra. But yeah, Planet Fitness. Whoops, that one. You guys know what it is. Over 50 Metro Detroit locations. The best gym in the gym game. We're talking about exercise and all that kind of stuff. I'll never be a member at another gym. Planet Fitness Black Card, $24.99 a month. That's it. Some of you paying $100 a month. Why? You're probably the same people that are going to be evading your taxes because you won't have any money because you spend it all in another gym when you could have been at Planet Fitness for $24.99 a month. So, yeah, that will do it here today. And our injury insider, of course, Dr. Jeff Pierce, usually on Tuesdays here, but he was here on a Wednesday, on a Top 5 Wednesday, powered by MRI of Southfield. For DMAC, for KG, Young Justin, Spencer Raxter, I'm Neil Rule, and thanks for tapping in. Big D Energy.
Week 0.
Week 0 coming up. Well, see you later.